The Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria has voted to increase the benchmark interest rate by 25 basis points to 18.75%. The acting governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Folashodun Shonubi, disclosed this while reading the communique of the 4th MPC meeting of the year on Tuesday. Addressing journalists at the end of the two-day meeting in Abuja, Shonubu said the committee voted to adjust the asymmetric corridor at plus 100 and minus 300 basis points around the MPR. Analyst expectations had been divergent ahead of the first MPC meeting after the suspension of Godwin Emefiele as the governor of the CBN. In a similar development, the Apex Bank has reaffirmed its commitment to gradually phase out the old 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes while issuing new currencies. This announcement was made by the acting governor of the CBN, Folashodun Shonubi, during the Monetary Policy Committee meeting held at the CBN headquarters in Abuja on Tuesday. In October 2022, Godwin Emefiele, the former CBN governor, unveiled plans to redesign the 200, 500 and 1,000 naira bills. However, in March, the Supreme Court invalidated the naira redesign policy introduced by the central bank, ruling that the old notes would remain as legal tender until December 31, 2023. Providing updates on the demonetization policy during the recent MPC meeting, Folashodun Shonubi clarified that the old notes would gradually be replaced over time. And the Central Bank of Nigeria has directed banks to vacate a post-no-debit restriction placed on the bank accounts of 440 individuals and companies. A post-no-debit means that all debit transactions, including ATMs and checks on the account, have been blocked but can receive inflows. The circular, signed by A.M. Barau on behalf of the CBN Director of Banking Supervision on Tuesday, did not state any reason for the action. However, it instructed banks to notify the concerned customers of the development. The companies on the list include Bamboo Systems Technology Limited, eScale Oil and Gas Limited, Rise Vest Technologies Limited, Shaka Technologies Limited, Aboki FX Limited, Nairabet International, Northwood Energy Services, and Proport Marine Limited, among others. In 2021, CBN instructed banks to freeze the accounts of 18 companies ranging from bureaux de change, construction firms, investment companies, laundering services, and property companies. And the acting governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Folashodun Shonubi, has said the bank will address the demand pressure on the country's exchange rate as the naira continues to slide against the dollar. He gave the assurance while answering questions from journalists after the two-day Monetary Policy Committee that ended in Abuja on Tuesday. Within 1 week, the naira fell to the dollar from 820 per dollar to 870 naira per dollar at the parallel market on Tuesday. Since the unification of the exchange rates in the country, the naira has continued to depreciate amid worsening inflation, rising fuel costs, and other challenges in the country. Shonubi said the market needs to find its level, noting that there is pent-up demand that the market cannot cater to, and once they clear the demand, the volatility will normalize. Reactions have continued to trail the decision made by the Monetary Policy Committee of the CBN to raise its benchmark interest rate, known as the monetary policy rate, to 18.75% from 18.5%. Speaking on this development early on Wednesday on iBrandTV's flagship business program, Business Breakfast, the former chief economist at Zenith Bank Group, Marcel Okeke, noted that the move will not have any significance in taming the surging inflationary trend, which have negatively impacted businesses and households.
It's expected because that's a key instrument. The monetary authorities, it can always apply in trying to tackle inflation that has assumed a runaway dimension in the past several months. So interest rate management is a key instrument for them to try to fight inflation. And that is why it's expected that they're going to, move it up or down. But what they have done, they just move it up marginally. It's a marginal move. But the truth is that what they have done can in no way have any significant impact on inflation. Because as we speak, there are several factors that affect or push up inflation rates in the country.
The International Monetary Fund has projected that Nigeria's economic growth will decline in 2023 and 2024 due to security issues in the oil sector. It stated that the country's economy would grow at 3.2% in 2023 before declining to 3.0% in 2024. The IMF disclosed this in its latest World Economic Outlook Update, Near-Term Resilience Persistent Challenges report of July 2023. According to the report, Nigeria's growth is below projections for the sub-Saharan African region, which is expected to grow by 3.5% in 2023 and 4.1% in 2024. Nigeria's economic growth projection for 2023 and 2024 did not change from the lender's projection of April 2023. And as the removal of fuel subsidy continues to affect businesses and households across the country, industry players in the Nigerian transport and logistics system say the adverse effect of the fiscal policy will have a long-term impact on the cost of transportation as the price of fares will continue to skyrocket. Chief Operating Officer of GIG Mobility, Jude Odum, in an exclusive interview on iBrandTV's business program, Business Breakfast, stated that the recent hike in fuel price has caused a reduction in their profit margin as they spend on petrol to keep their fleets running and stay in business. He, however, called on the government to come up with measures that will help ease up the impact of subsidy removal and exchange rate unification on their business operations.
The impact is actually far wide because, like I mentioned, people don't have to go around their regular business activities. So you find that people who are supposed to travel for maybe meetings or occasions or to render service, would then have to ask themselves, is this actually worth it? So in that case, you don't have people moving around as they used to. Like currently, as we speak, right now in the mobility sector, we find that patronage has dropped about 20-30%, since the removal of subsidy, and that's affecting both the industry and the country at large. I already explained how it will affect the country, because if people are not able to move around, right, progress will be stalled somewhat.
The Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Samuel Obuku, says the Commission is focused on deepening partnerships and promoting investments to secure the future of Niger Delta people in the years beyond the oil-driven economy. The NDDC Corporate Affairs Director, Ibitoye Aboshede, on Tuesday said the Commission's boss stated this during a three-day Develop Ondo 2.0 Investment Summit in Akure, Ondo State. The statement quoted Obuku as saying the partnership with the private sector and development partners would boost funding for accelerated development in the region. He said thinking beyond oil is not only a pathway to sustain development in the Niger Delta, but is also becoming inevitable as the reality of energy transition and the global climate crisis continue to stare the country in the face.